You guys ready for some bombs? It's a fucking birthday party, guys. Are you ready for some bombs? It's a bit better, let's see how we can do.
Scotland's poetry scene is constantly growing. It's interesting to look at this phenomenon from all angles. Aloud is a small poetry open mic night run in Glasgow University. Although Aloud is involved in the poetry scene in other ways, its main purpose is to serve as a starting point for beginner poets. I spoke to Ross McFarlane and Vivi Schwithal, who currently run Aloud, and filmed some of the wide array of performances at Aloud's second birthday party.
So Aloud's been running 2 years now. We're here for our second birthday. It started up in March 2014 by Sid and Heather, who were the initial people kind of getting it started. And it's kind of just, we're trying to make it go from strength to strength. That's what we're doing here. I believe it was Sid and Heather were really interested in spoken word. They weren't aware of anything else going on in Glasgow, so they decided to start up their own night and made it a student night. They were master's students here in English literature.
I started this year, about the same time as Ross officially took over. He asked me if I wanted to join, and I did, because Aloud's pretty awesome. It's supposed to be like a night for students, obviously, because there was nothing on campus at the moment, and the poetry scene was getting bigger and bigger, so there was sort of people wanted a night where they could do that stuff, and so it was set up like that. And for us, it's been, we both have always been more like involved with the Glasgow scene than with the student poetry scene, which is I think more page poets.
I kind of, all I know is performance, so I've kind of played to my strengths since I've taken over, but at the start it was very much a literature night. There was a bit of a disconnect between the student community and the Glasgow community, which is kind of what I made it my job to try and correct when I got on board.
There's so many students and we're on campus, so there's a whole lot of students that can come in. And I think we always have a regular crowd of people, of students that come in. And obviously we're closely connected to Glasgow University and the student body of Glasgow University, but we definitely tried to get people from everywhere sort of to come, and like it's not just for Glasgow Uni students. So for us it's been a bit like trying to bridge that and getting poets from the Glasgow performance scene in, and also getting page poets in, and a lot of students obviously, and yeah, it's been great fun trying to sort of bridge that.
Come and spend a night here, you know, come on a first date here. I know lots of people have done that, it really works.
Aloud, along with fellow open mic night The Blue Chair, primarily gives amateur poets a chance to practice their craft. It also lets first-timers try their hand at poetry. Aloud boasts a large range of participants, both young students and older veteran poets.
So next up, first time in Aloud, so it'll be really nice. Also pretty new to poetry as far as I've heard, at least to performance poetry. So this is all very exciting, so we're going to be really nice and smile and be excited. 3, 2, 1. Samuel Barnwell, everyone!
Alright. As said, I'm kind of new to this, but nice to be here. Happy birthday, y'all. I'm sure I'll be here next year as well. This one's called Words, and like, I'm starting to realise the irony of this poem, but yeah, you probably will too. Chance to stay silent, I'll take a rare breath and intake and a glimpse of what's around, an opportune moment to not make a sound. Thank you. My heart jumps with open arms into the warm embrace of silence, and there I lay, head resting on the shoulder of content, who forever holds my gaze and whispers, don't say anything.
The Bible calls us hip swears, naysayers, loose players. Fairy tales say we're princesses, finger-pricking, frog-licking, midnight quitting, never high-kicking. Bible talks of harlots flashing scarlet, there to rock the cot, the cause of all the rot. Classics show heartbreakers, homemakers, not world shakers or risk takers. But I say we're sisters, daughters, friends, women.
You have the paid shows, your rallying bras, your loud poets, and they get the art acts that get booked for them are the best of the best, and they get paid, and it's all good. Then you've got kind of slightly better shows that do quite well, open mics and book shows that don't necessarily get paid but are really good. You've got your Deepshire Hi-Fis. Below that you have Aloud and you have the Blue Chair.
Aloud's always been a nice place to go if you're starting out, and it's been really nice to, I started out Aloud. The first time I read was at Aloud when I just started out. And it's a great night to go if you're not that confident yet, if you're not that keen on really getting in front of a massive crowd. And it's a very friendly, open atmosphere, and I think especially in Glasgow, it's one of the only ones I feel where it's really easy to get on stage. Other ones are a bit more, you want to have a bit more experience to go there. I think Aloud's really the one you go to if you're starting out, especially as a student.
It's really important that people know that places like Aloud and the Blue Chair and the Project Cafe all exist for beginners, because if you only go to the Loud Poet shows, you're sitting there going, how do I get into this? I'm not that good, I'm never going to get booked for Loud Poets. It's like, well, yeah, you will. If you practice, if you know where to go first, if you come into your Alouds and your Blue Chairs and practice the craft, there's no reason why you won't get to that level. Aloud is here for those people who aren't at that stage yet. And for anyone else who wants to come and practice. That is the purpose that it fills in the scene. I think that's a really important purpose, is to have somewhere that people can go month in, month out and just get up on a stage and practice. The Blue Chair is also really important for that. They're on every week on Wednesday, Blue Chair, High Street, phenomenal show. And it's just for people, real community, sit around and go like, here's a thing I wrote, what do you think?
Often when we're at the nights and we talk to people and they say, I really would like to start out, we go like, oh, come to Aloud, it's a good place to start.
Is what we do. Our open mic is an opportunity for people who are new to performance or who want to practice their performance skills to get up, to use a mic, to speak in front of people who are nothing but welcoming. That is what we're here for.
From what I hear from people who come here, they all feel like it's a nice, friendly environment to start off in. So, yeah, that's definitely something we try to encourage.
It's all those things, man. It is a place where you can start out. It's a place where you are warmly received. People come up to the stage and they say, this is my first time performing. They get a fucking round of applause. That's what we're here to do, man. We're here to be like, well done for coming and doing this. And we have seen, especially, I've noted in the last 3 months, some people who only perform at Aloud or basically only perform at Aloud, coming up here and month after month get better and better in their writing and especially their performance. And yeah, these people I watch develop, and it's wonderful. Aloud, for me, is watching those people and giving those people a stage.
I never know where to begin. This pen is a pen that barely touches these pages anymore. Nobody asks where I've been. Nobody knows the paths and the bridges I've burned to get here. Nobody knows the halves of my heart I've eaten just to keep myself alive. Nobody knows that this gaping wound in my body is still breaking every boundary just to keep itself in living memory. I spend nights begging for no one to touch me. All the while my hands reach out for some kind of sign that I am not alone in this life. I am made a monster of this eulogy. I don't know how to sing your songs anymore. These streets we have built are beginning to crumble, and for once I don't know where I belong. Thank you.
That's the best. Doubts and worries, fears and pain and memories and the rest. You think you know me, know my heart, know my mind. Shadows cast shadows, I give to you dark gifts from the night. And you have been changed by my gifts. Pass them on, pass them on. Shadows cast shadows. My father's friend came to see me. They told me it was a long time ago. He came in the night, took my smile and my youth, took my heart and my mind, took my hope and my love, all that I had. The coins he paid me with were anger and hate. I am a shadow.
Despite this, Aloud put on more than just open mic nights. Ross and Bibi spoke about some of Aloud's other endeavours.
So last year we did have our magazine, which ran for 3 prints, and we're doing our best to get it back, at least for a couple of specials a year. That'd be really nice. We loved the magazine. It was really well received by the poetry community in Glasgow in general and the students.
We used to have the magazine, which is great, which is for written poetry, but that got cut this year unfortunately, although there's currently, hopefully we'll get it back on soon.
Other than that, we ran a workshop last semester with Agnes Turk, who is a phenomenal talent and a wonderful workshop runner.
We put on a slam this year, which is a lot of fun as well. Slams are obviously a really big deal right now in the poetry scene. It's not necessarily what Aloud does, but it always works well to get a lot of people in and to get people excited about it.
That's kind of our big event of the year. We ran the first ever Aloud Slam last semester, where we sent Jess Smith, an Edinburgh poet, through to the Scottish National Slam, where she got to the semi-final. Did really, really well. Forgot the crawl and walk, the held hands in the late night talks, and what we lost in the distance gained was the time spent savouring our lasting refrain. Now our tempos don't match, my waltz is too slow and your tango too fast. I don't know how long we still have, but I know that this dance cannot last. The music, instrumental, it represents the cadence and flow of the past that we chose to find out. We hope that we both have too many songs we can't play anymore. So where we lie over here, breathless sighs, silence and heavy eyes. We lost the energy and urgency to turn the CD play wrong because the tempo seems off. It takes 2 for us, 2 tango, and the time signature's wrong. We're playing out of time. We played out these rhymes, so I feel that it's time I get gone. I miss your melody, but I don't feel how I should. We miss the harmony. If I could, then I would part silently, because we always knew, and it's always been true, that we both took cues and used moves that we drew from the music. But we were both whistling different tunes. Cheers.
Will be televised. Angsty teen dystopian after dystopian, and yet the revolution will not come. The streets will be littered dark, our dreams will be filtered and marked, our bodies be pushed to the limits of 24/7. Anxiety is exploited, depression employed by marketing strategies. Swallow these, swallow for fun, do it for the young ones, break backs that have never carried a bone in their lives. The revolution will be revolutionized. We will be sold new ways to be reluctant, new circadian rhythms to make us more productive. We will forget how to set fire to our hearts. Instead of playing out rhymes on a stage to look smart, we will forget that this was supposed to be for something, and so the revolution will not come. We will banish all isms, forgetting that language is not reality and that even poets can be censored if we let them. We will remember how and we will remember when, but when the time comes, we will not be ready. The revolution will hold steady for as long as the hashtag is trending, and then quietly fade.
Although Ross and Davey's graduations are imminent, they feel confident about the future of Aloud.
Because poetry has become very important to me, and running it as an organiser has been great, and it's been great to be part of that side of the poetry scene as being an organiser as well, and I'm very sad that we're almost done.
Future, keep the open mic going, keep it regular, keep getting people in the door, showing the university population that hey, this is the thing it's worth fucking paying attention to, it's cool, and it's good, and it's funny, and it's heartbreaking, and it's wonderful.
I hope a lot of good things. I hope Aloud will continue to grow and to be great and get in more students and cultivate more people starting off in poetry.
Aloud just needs to keep going the way it's been going, and to hype itself up, get a couple of advertisers in and get the magazine back going, you know. If you can, put on workshops, put on writing groups.
We have people taking it over and they're all very capable, so we'll come back and be here as the audience as well.
Those are my recommendations to whoever takes over, is like, make it as big as you want it to be, because it can be something wonderful that brings people together and gets people working on their craft, and just, yeah, do the thing, do the polls, they're good.
Curious to see what the new organisers will bring to it. Obviously everyone brings their own thing to it, and it will be interesting to see what happens with it. I'm trying to let go of it emotionally so that I don't want to have that control anymore. But it's been such a great night, and I really hope that continues.
You know, I'm keeping the seat warm for whoever wants to come next, and just watching these wonderful poets and performers bloom, and it's really cool. I like it a lot. Okay, so we've had a good round of poets there. It's awesome. We have a big round of applause for all the poets from the first section. I walked back in those kids' Kettering days. She said, "Remember my mind takes a horse tranquilizer. Wasn't in my right mind, so I couldn't advise her. Just stepped to the street when something I was about to work with my supervisor, none the wiser. Some days whole days turn into weeks, and I'm not even sure if I'm a week in a sleep class, but we should take that to swim in the haze. I gotta catch up some to get the world. Do you want me to do an interview now? Like,
yes, that would be good.
Sorry.